2 minutes, you're very good. You're very good. So good morning, everyone. My name is Giovanni Piccini, and it is my honor to serve as your MC for today's festivities. You know, as I look around the room, I think back, I'm reminded of my days when I was a teacher in the Weymouth Public Schools. You know, it was that first day of class, and kids come into the classroom and there's no seating assignments, and I discovered that the good kids would sit typically where? In the front, where the good kids would sit, right? Where would the troublemakers sit? In the back, in the back. Because they thought if they sat in the back, the distance between them and Mr. Piccini, I couldn't see all the trouble that they were making. But I was a very good teacher. My eyes weren't here, they were in the back. So if there's any projectiles that are thrown my way, I'm looking in the back. I'm looking in the back. So, again, welcome. On July 28th, 2013, the iconic Bruce Springsteen was closing out the European leg of the Wrecking Ball Tour in Kilkenny, Ireland. This last show was the 5th of 5 dates in Ireland. Before closing the concert and tour, Springsteen spoke briefly to thank his fans, his band, his crew, remarking that he'd been making music for a living for 50 years. Pausing for but a moment, he closed his thanks and comments by saying, "The older you get, the more it means. The older you get, the more it means." A simple yet profound sentiment. And of the 8 words in that sentence, the most significant is the shortest one, it. It can be just a moment in time. Maybe it's curling up on the couch with a good book, going for a walk, soaking in the sunshine on a sunny day, enjoying a good conversation with a friend. It can also mean, as was the case with Springsteen, something longer and substantive, like a body of work over time. Today, that it, the latter part, is why we gather here today to honor the man we all know and love, Dr. Wayne Westcott. So with that, we'll get the festivities going, and allow me to introduce our first speaker, Rita LaRosa Loud, Director of the Quincy College Fitness Center.
Thank you. What a special day it is today. I am pleased to have the honor and privilege of sharing some of Wayne's many stellar talents and achievements, for it would be impossible to convey all of his extraordinary accomplishments. I would like to begin with an interesting tidbit about Wayne, and feel free to correct me, Wayne, if I don't have my facts straight, and you can elaborate it when it's time for you to speak. My understanding is that as a young man, your original educational pursuit was not physical education, but that you wanted to become an engineer. That a mentor recognized qualities you possessed in another path and coached you into pursuing the career track you ultimately chose. Thank God for that. Yeah. Yes, amen. Okay, everyone, hang on to your seats. Wayne L. Westcott, Ph.D., and Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist, is currently Professor Emeritus of Exercise Science at Quincy College. He has authored numerous books and textbooks, 30 in fact, written strength training chapters for 9 personal trainer certification manuals, published 95 peer-reviewed research and academic papers, and served for 7 years as a health and fitness columnist for the American College of Sports Medicine's Certified News. Wayne has been featured speaker for countless professional organizations, including national meetings of the American College of Sports Medicine, American College of Nutrition, Harvard Medical School, International Conference on Obesity, and Harvard Medical School Lifestyle Medical Conference. He's also been a strength training consultant for many organizations, including the United States Navy, Air Force, Army, Marines, and Coast Guard, the YMCA of the USA, and 6 NFL football teams. I don't know how he does all this. How does he fit it in? Wayne has also received a variety of professional recognition awards, including those from the American College of Sports Medicine, Medical Fitness Association, Penn State University, President's Council on Physical Fitness and Sports, International Association of Fitness Professionals, YMCA Association of Professional Directors, American Heart Association, Massachusetts Association of Health, Physical Education, Recreation, and Dance, and Quincy College. Wow. Another clap. Okay. To end my remarks, I would like to say this about my esteemed colleague. Uh-oh, getting emotional. Okay, everyone matters to Wayne, no matter what age, gender, physical ability, or stature. Foremost on Wayne's mind is to promote a healthy lifestyle for everyone and for all people to experience both the life-changing and life-saving benefits exercise provides, above all, resistance exercise. Wayne is not only known worldwide as a highly respected strength training guru, fitness researcher, author, and mentor, but he is clearly a positive role model both in physicality and character, as well as a major health, fitness, and wellness influencer. Wayne is also a man of faith, a devoted, caring husband, and the most enthusiastic, charismatic person on this planet. Yes. Over the past 30 years, I have watched Wayne encouraging others, making it a point to highlight everyone's strengths. Truth be told, each person he connects with feels special the instant they meet him. So Wayne, your lifelong commitment and dedication to the welfare of others that you have generously provided will never be forgotten. Thank you, Wayne, for your decades of service. 5 decades? 6 decades? I don't know. Okay. So Wayne, if you would now please come up with your loving and supportive wife, Claudia, as you, and we will help you, are about to unveil how your legacy will live on and just how much you mean to all of us here at Quincy College.
It's like Christmas. So what we're unveiling here is the new name for our fitness center. The new name is the Wayne Westcott, PhD Center for Health and Fitness. So this plaque will be displayed prominently outside the fitness center as well as he enters the fitness center as well. Thank you so much. Wayne will be back up, I promise. He will be back up. Okay. So when the idea of renaming the fitness center was proposed to President DeCristofaro, it barely took a moment for him to give it an enthusiastic thumbs up. Without his support, none of this would have taken place. Please give a warm round of applause for our next speaker, the president of Quincy College, President Rick DeCristofaro.
Well, certainly on behalf of Quincy College, you know, it's an honor and a privilege to be here, to be able to speak about Wayne. I want to thank Giovanni, certainly, and Rita, and Beth Anthony, and our college staff that did such a great job planning this event. So we can hear it for them as well. We can do that. And now that we have you exhausted from applauding, you know, again, it's an incredible privilege because I met Wayne many years ago, and I don't think he's changed at all. I mean, his looks. He looks the same. I don't know how you did that, but it's a great thing. And, you know, when we think about, you know, the life, you know, your life here, you know, and what you've given, it's absolutely extraordinary. And we talk about the heart and the head, you know, and think about all the books that you've written and how bright you are. And how you've used the gift that God has given you to help so many from the community here today to honor you. So you're very bright, and that's a great thing. You want to be an engineer, and I'm looking at your boots, and it's not that engineer. But when we think about the head, we also need to think about Wayne and everything Wayne did from his heart. How he made sure that everyone that entered Quincy College came here from the YMCA and came here. Everyone that came here was blessed with everything that you did for them. And that was not just because you knew so much, but you gave so much. So what matters most in life is really not, everything that you know. It's really who you are. And who you are, Wayne, is an absolutely extraordinary, extraordinary individual. This today is really about your life, and it's about retirement in a way, but it's really about legacy. And it's a legacy of your spirit, the spirit that everyone that enters that fitness center is going to look at that, but also feel so very, very good about what you did. It's everlasting is what it really is. So again, my honor, my pleasure, always, to be with you. I felt better. Every time I talked with you, I felt better. And I'm saying, what is this guy doing? But you do. It's a gift. And you've shared that gift with everyone, certainly here today, and so many hundreds of others. So God bless you. All right, and it's our pleasure. Thank you. And our next speaker is someone that also has a tremendous legacy in our city, whose family, has a tremendous legacy in this city and understands what it is to give, as you have done so much of your life. So our next speaker is Mayor Thomas Koch.
Giovanni, La Rosa, DeCristofaro, Sarasoli. I'm happy to represent the German Americans that may be in this room. And I also want to acknowledge that, Dr. Westcott has had great success, but he's had some failures. My city solicitor's in his program up in the back. If you take a look at Jim, he's got a ways to go. I also just personally want to thank Dr. Westcott, because my mom actually came here a number of years ago in her later years, and it was very important to her. I know Gladys is a big fan, some of those folks, and what you did for them was just tremendous. And Dr. D talked a little bit about it. You're a special person, and it's not just about the physical side. The physical health is important, but it's also the spiritual side. And my guess is that your balance of the spiritual and physical is what makes you who you are. And you've shared that with everybody, hundreds over the years. It was the YMCA here at the college, and we're all better for it. So I have two items for you. We have what's called a Friendship Mayor's Medal that I want to give to you. You can put up on eBay. You might get 10 cents on eBay for it. But more importantly, this is in the presidential series of coins by the U.S. Mint. This is a John Adams Peace Friendship Medal. And thinking about coming over here today, I thought of you, the great history of our city, and you've been a part of that history. And when we talk about peace in the world, you got to have peace here before we can have peace in our homes and our neighborhoods. And Dr. Westcott, you have that peace, which you've shared with so many others that have brought peace to them and this world in a very real way. So congratulations and continued best wishes.
Thank you, Mayor Koch. It's indeed an honor to have you here on this very special day. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce our next speaker, the former Inspector General for the state of Massachusetts, Mr. Bob Sarasoli.
So don't worry, I have a little folder here, but they said 2 minutes. Make sure it's 2 minutes. So I don't do more. I can't believe that I'm following the mayor. The mayor is such a great guy. He's a fantastic person. I want you to know his father handed me the Koch Club Scholarship in 1965 when I graduated from Quincy High School. How do you like that? That's how far back I go with the Koch family. But as far back as I go with the Koch family, and the mayor pointed this out, there's a little Italian thing going on. I go farther than that, back with Ricky DeCristofaro, who grew up the street from me. And we grew up together as kids, I guess, right? His uncle was my campaign chairman when I ran for state rep, so. But I'm really incredibly humbled to be asked to say a few words here today for Dr. Wayne Westcott. I can't believe how lucky I am to have him as a friend, and has had him as a friend for many, many years, over 40 years. Because not only is he a foremost fitness guru in the United States, he's just an incredible guy. Everybody said it. I really can't repeat everything that everybody said, and I don't want to, but I thought, Wayne, you had only done 20 books, but I guess from Reader I heard 30 books. But you know, Wayne started out a long time ago. We used to do the articles in the newspaper. I used to laminate those articles for them. Do you remember? I used to send him all the articles. Every time he'd have an article in a newspaper, I'd laminate it and I'd send it to him. And you know, he's presented his research and findings to tens of thousands of people in seminars, as attendees to seminars. Whenever you see a Nautilus machine, you have to think of Wayne Westcott, because that machine in some way has his idea in it, his craft in it. He worked with Arthur Jones to actually craft some of the machines. And you know, he's personally educated, tested, and certified many thousands of fitness trainers around the world. I happen to be one of those individuals. I met Wayne Westcott in 1984. He had just come to the YMCA in Quincy, and of course a lot of us who are around Wayne and a lot of the people in the room go back to the old YMCA in Quincy, because we were there for many, many, many years. Probably it was a cult. We still have reunions. But I was working out on the floor of the Y, and Wayne came up to me. He was head of the fitness center at the time, and he saw me working out, and he, you know, I looked a little different then than I do now. So, he asked me, he says, would you like to be one of my research subjects? I said, really? He says, he was working on a new method called high-intensity training, and it hadn't been perfected yet, and he needed real people to test his ideas, that actually I'd be a guinea pig, a test subject. He actually assigned a personal trainer to me 4 days a week for 6 months. This is a true story. And it was serious stuff, but it was free, so I said, this is great, you know. In the beginning, I was measured, I was strength tested. He told me he could reduce my body fat to 12%. I said, yeah, right. And I didn't believe him. But he said with the proper diet I could, and well, you know, he wasn't lying. I worked hard, I trained on all the Nautilus machines, I did a floor routine, and by the end of the period that I was done, the end of that 6-month period, believe it or not, I don't even believe it myself when I quote these numbers, but I could complete 300 setups, sit-ups, 20 pull-ups, and 30 dips in one session. Now, the big thing at the Y was the dip contest, all right? I don't know, everybody remembers the dip contest. Every year we'd have a dip contest around Christmas time. And of course, I can tell you who would win the dip contest. Irrelevant of his age category, Wayne Westcott would win the dip contest, because he could do like 66 dips. And the dips, Wayne would say, that's the real Cadillac of fitness, is the dip. That gets your whole body. And Wayne could do more than anybody. It was really incredible. It was quite a sight to see when he rattled off that 66 dip. Those were glorious days, believe it or not. I just get giddy thinking of them and thinking in the shape that I was in at that time. In the end, Wayne asked me, he says, would you like to become a certified fitness instructor? I said, are you kidding me? I can't do that kind of thing. He said, no. He says, you could do it. I says, I'm not really cut out for it. But I relented. I studied. I passed the test. And I went to work for Wayne. And one of the odd things in life was I was the Inspector General of Massachusetts, and I was working for Wayne Westcott at the Y. And Wayne opened up a whole new world for me, and I ended up working for him about 16 years at the YMCA. Of course, as many of you know, and in 2006, Wayne came over to the Y. I was teaching full-time at Eastern Nazarene College then, and then I ended up losing track of Wayne because I ended up going down to New Orleans. I don't know what was in my head, but I decided to become the Inspector General in New Orleans. Later I came back to be an adjunct professor at Quincy, and Wayne and I reconnected, and I would see Wayne every day for 10 years. Rita and I and Wayne, we'd talk. We'd go between classes. and we reconnected our friendship. So the pandemic came in 2020, and we sort of lost contact, as a lot of people did lose contact with their friends. But, you know, I want to say that Wayne Westcott, without question, is one of the best Christian gentlemen I know. He is successful in his profession. He's loved by his peers, his friends, his students, and he lives a life that accentuates Christian values, the Christian values that he espouses. And I mention this because being a Christian is important to Wayne. It's an important aspect of his life, and I share that with Wayne. And I know the mayor does too. Needless to say, I love Wayne Westcott, and it is a privilege and an honor for me to be here to honor you. So I have to tell you this, is every once in a while, Wayne loves trains. I don't know anybody that knows Wayne, he loves trains. So in my travels, I'm a historian, I love to travel, I love to get artifacts. So I would go and I would bring Wayne back. I brought, it was very hard to find, a drawing of his favorite engine, his favorite train engine. I found it in Pennsylvania. I brought it back to him. It hangs in the fitness center now. And then I'd find spikes, historic spikes. I got him a spike from the Union Pacific Railroad. It was gold-plated. I got him another spike from the Southern Pacific Railroad. So I didn't know what to do for him today. And it's very interesting that the mayor brought him some coins. So I brought you a coin out of my collection. This is going to be a lucky piece for you, all right? This is a coin that was fashioned from the USS Olympia, which was the flagship that Admiral Dewey used to sink the Spanish fleet in 1898 in Manila Bay. So the ship was refit in 1957, and they took the propeller of the ship and they cut it down. The USS Olympia was one of the first ironclad battleships ever built. And this is part of the propeller of that ship. And I'm going to give this coin to Wayne Westcott to carry with you as a lucky piece in honor of our friendship.
Although not on your itinerary, rumor is there'll be a dip contest after the reception today. So the pressure's on. The pressure's on. He will still win. He will still win. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate your wonderful comments. Our next speaker is new to the Quincy College community. This gentleman is now serving as our newest professor in the exercise science department. And even though we've only known each other for a short period of time, I feel like I've known him for absolutely forever. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce you, Mr. Matthew Ibrahim.
So I will keep this brief. It's an honor and a privilege to speak here in front of all of you. What an amazing event that you guys put together. One more quick clap of the hands, guys. This is an awesome job. In addition to everything else we've received today, this is a very special announcement. We're working on right now, we're working through this, the Exercise Science Academic Achievement Certificate in your honor for one student each year that we'll award that to.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is short and sweet. It is my honor to introduce to all of you our honored guest, Dr. Wayne Westcott.
It's an incredible honor to be here today, to see so many dignitaries and friends and colleagues. I'm just speechless. By the way, can I stand out here just for a second? President Christopher, these are good boots. These are dress-up boots. If you saw the real Wayne and Claudia Westcott, at 7:30 this morning, we were in the stall with a horse with our not-so-good boots. That's my major skill, is mucking, okay? Those of you that are horse people know what we're talking about. Claudia's the rider. We are just incredibly humbled to receive this awesome honor. I cannot tell you how much we appreciate all of you. the mayor, thank you so much, Mayor Koch. President DeCristofaro, you have been such an influence. Bob Sarsola, you've had to speak twice on my behalf. Thank you. Matthew, we cannot tell you how pleased we are that you are here. You always wonder who's going to take over. They could not have selected a better person to be in charge of our fitness programs. And Rita and her wonderful husband, Paul, they have just been our closest friends and associates for well over 30 years at the YMCA here at Quincy College and every place we've been. We thank you so much for that. We'd be, I don't know, would be disingenuous if we didn't say we are just amazed at this. I'm almost speechless. People I haven't seen in years, political friends and colleagues, and those of you from this college, which I love Quincy College so much. It's meant so much to us. We've been here for 16 years, actually, and it's been our second home. You've been all family to us. We are so honored for all that you've done with us. And I'm talking about everyone. You know, I can't believe, I really can't believe that with their incredibly busy schedules, that President DeCristofaro and Provost Yatin and our legal counsel, Jessica, and the rest of you, Tom Pham, all of you that are in positions of authority, which is everybody here, have taken time to make this possible and take time of your schedule to be here to celebrate this very special day with us. And that's what makes it so special, is all of you. And I want to also thank our Board of Governors. I want to thank all of our administrators, all of our faculty members. I've not met a faculty member here that I didn't love. You know, I did teach at some large universities earlier in my life, but I've never taught with people that are better at teaching and love students more than Quincy College. It's amazing. All of our students, by the way, all of our staff have been our biggest supporters in the fitness center, and thank you all for being a part of that. Our students, and we have some of our outstanding students here. In fact, our student graduation speaker, student speaker graduation a few years ago is back now. He's finishing his bachelor's degree. And let's see who else. Oh, our staff, our fitness staff, our exercise science staff. Thank you so much, each one of you. If I try to name you all, I'll mess up. But certainly Rita and Sammy and Pammy and Scott and Tracy and Michelle and so many others. We also are not going to have a dip contest. Sitting in this audience is former Mr. Second Place, but I'm going to call him Mr. East Coast United States, and that's Frank. Thank you, Frank. He's an incredible student. Came back to school at age 62 and has just blown everything away. I've never seen him get anything less than an A. He's amazing. And sitting on this side, we have 7-time Mr. World. So we're not going to have any competitions today. But Claudia, I had prepared some words to speak, and I'm just, all that you said, Bob and Rick and Mayor Koch, Matt, thank you. Rita, you've been so kind to us. Everyone who is here and supported us over the years, it means a lot. We've been blessed to be at Quincy College, as I said, for, over a decade and a half. And we would just return that by saying, we pray God's richest blessing on each of you. You may not know this, but I pray for most of you every day. I really do. And those I haven't been praying for, you're on the list now. So we thank you so much, and God bless you. I apologize. Giovanni was sitting behind me. Giovanni and his lovely wife, Christine, are really the reason we're here today. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's an absolute joy putting this all together, an absolute joy. So, on behalf of everyone here, many thanks, Wayne, for your years of service, not only Quincy College, but also within the entire fitness community. I'd like to take a moment to thank the folks who were integral in making this event a reality. It doesn't just happen magically. So kind of please hold your applause to the end, and then feel free to show your appreciation for the following folks. And if I miss someone, I apologize. I'll make sure I get you at another time. First and foremost, from marketing, Beth Anthony. The Quincy College Marketing Department, our featured speakers, President DeCristofaro, Mayor Tom Koch, Bob Sarasoli, Matthew Ibrahim, my wife, Christine Piccini, the Quincy College Building Maintenance Department, our caterer, the Plate in Milton, Massachusetts, and last but not least, my partner in crime, Rita LaRosa Loud. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending today's festivities. It's not over. We have a wonderful reception to all of you. Please take a moment to make sure that you read the lovely inscription we have inscribed here on the plaque. And thank you for your time, and thank you for attending. Greatly appreciated.